Hi, girlfriends. Hola, girlfriends. ¿Cómo están? Good evening, girlfriends, and all the future girlfriends, girlfriends to be. Bienvenida. Good evening one more time. Here we are, out of the box, out of our Facebook page one more time. The funny thing is, the last time we got together, it's the same people.
Yep, part two.
Part two. And what are we a part two of? Gardening of the soul, jardinería para el alma.
Yeah.
¿Por qué continuamos con la jardinería? Why do we continue with gardening? This time, I'm not going to start. This time, I need our girlfriend. Well, first of all, I'm Elizabeth, and I am the founder of Girlfriends Gather Here. Yo fui la que, ¿verdad? Dios tocó para abrir la página de Girlfriends Gather Here y conjunto a tres, porque somos muchas más, pero hoy tenemos tres aquí. Tenemos la princesa, Coraima.
Hi.
Y a Janet Ocasio una vez más.
Hola. Hello.
Janet, hablamos la última vez de jardinería. We talked about gardening before in Coraima. What can we continue to talk about? I'm saving mine for last. Let's start today with you, Janet Ocasio.
Well, I can honestly say that we can relate to a garden. Our mind, nuestra mente es como un jardín. Our mind is like a garden. Our body, we treat it like a vessel, and our soul is our garden. And we have to nurture it with, good things. Your mind, your body, your soul. So for your mind, you have to fill it with positive thoughts, positive mindsets, and everything that's going to make your mind, free of, the negativity. Something that I was reading today that I want to share with you guys is you also have to have a healthy diet for your mind to function the right way.
Yes.
And just like a garden, our bodies, we have to nurture with good things. So good food, exercise, proper mindsets. You have to rest and all that stuff so that your body can function the right way.
So you know how plants, you have to water them, give them enough sunlight, healthy soil and everything like that. So do you think that it's beneficial for us to, our garden, our soul, to have like a really, not a set schedule, but certain things that we do every single day? Do you think that that's like the right steps to take in order to have a healthy garden for ourselves?
I believe so. I honestly think that, just if you give your body the wrong foods, you're going to feel icky, you're going to feel bad. Te vas a sentir enferma si no le das a tu cuerpo los nutrientes que necesitan, vitamina, agua, hidratarte. Todo eso refleja en tu cuerpo, en tu mente, para que tú funcione, como un ser humano debe de funcionar. And como preguntó Coraima, and I believe that your body, you do need a positive and you need a balance. So you have to give it the proper things so that your body can function in the right way.
Yeah, okay.
So scientifically, there's a process for butterflies, right? It's called metamorphosis, or metamorphosis.
Yeah, metamorphosis.
There you go. So how does that work for plants?
So
there's a process, right?
Yeah, there's a process. Well, yeah, metamorphosis with the butterfly is, when they go from a caterpillar to a butterfly and, they live their life like that. But plants, it's they have a cycle too, and it's photosynthesis. And so what happens in photosynthesis is that the plants, they get they use sunlight, and they use that to form carbon dioxide and water. And then they also have this pigment, it's called the chlorophyll, which is what makes it green. And so when they generate that byproduct is oxygen, and that's how we get our air. That's how we breathe. So, with photosynthesis and having our garden, in the mind, body, and soul, I think we can relate that, because when you have, when there's something wrong with your body, you know it, because there's systems in your body. Your body can't have one thing wrong with it and function correctly, because one system affects the other. So if there's something that goes wrong in the process of photosynthesis, we might not get our air.
Right.
So imagine if that went wrong with all the plants, we wouldn't be able to survive. So I think that when it comes to looking at our own garden, our own personal garden, we need to make sure that the process by which we keep our garden healthy really works for us individually because it's our garden, you know? If we know that we're doing something every day that isn't beneficial to us, then we need to change it,
Right.
you know, and get ourselves on the process of providing air for ourselves, providing food for ourselves, providing positive thoughts, like you were saying, for ourselves. So, yeah.
Okay, and then there's, you know, like I want to hit the Spanish. Quiero hablar un poquito de español para las girlfriends, ¿verdad? Pues tenemos nuestras girlfriends, nos ven en Puerto Rico y tenemos nuestras girlfriends. A mí me encanta nombrarlas. Tenemos a Carmen Rivera en Puerto Rico, tenemos a Etelvina Collazo, mi mamá, que también está en Puerto Rico, Margarita Mercado. Tenemos a Carmen, la mamá de Glendale, que actually está por ahí. Y tenemos a Eliseo, el papá de Ruthie, que pues el único hombre permitido en esta página. Pues le quería decirle que la página es privada. No puedo dejar de repetir como Annie Mejía los otros días dice, voy a hacer un live, ella empezó a hacer el live y se fue en vivo y dijo estas palabras, dice, es algo personal, pero siento que aquí en este jardín, en The Girlfriends Gather Here, aquí sí puedo hablarle esto porque estoy con ustedes, sé que nadie de afuera lo va a ver. Y de verdad que eso a mí me dio una alegría. Yo digo, ¿qué pasa? Estamos hablando de jardín. Todo comienza con una semilla. Esta semilla, una para ti. No sé si me da, dale un... Y esta semilla tan pequeña, yo siempre digo, de toda la creación de Dios, porque Dios me ha creado tantas cosas lindas, la favorita mía es la semilla. Porque de esa cosa tan pequeña sale tantas cosas tan grandes, ¿verdad? So, yo voy a hablar ahora mismito de la semilla y yo he sembrado lo más posible, he tratado de sembrar siempre lo más posible positiva, cosas positivas y seguiré sembrando. Seguiré por encima de la lluvia, por encima de un tornado como el de ayer, por encima que si la cosecha está, hay mucho sol, voy a buscar la manera de seguir echándoles agua. ¿Sabe por qué? Porque soy una planta y no quiero morir.
That's right.
Que aunque las plantas se les dé mantenimiento, se mantienen vivas, pero si se les deja de echar agua o se descuidan, como en nuestros cuerpos podemos morir. Y no solamente, no estoy hablando de una muerte física nada más, espiritual, la mente, ¿verdad? So, cada uno de nosotros alguna vez fuimos una semilla y alguien sembró en nosotros. Yo sembré en ti, mi hija, ¿verdad? Y yo puedo, mira esta planta, pero llega el tiempo donde tú formas tu propio jardín. Y tú misma tienes que darle ese mantenimiento. Y yo confiada al sembrar esa semilla, estoy viendo los resultados. And what I'm saying is that once we plant that seed, I planted a seed in my daughter. And my daughter now has to continue and create her own garden. I'm so sure that the way I've taken care of my garden, I know my plants can make it. They can make it. And now that she's going to do her own and spread your own seeds, you know, now you're spreading seeds. You're here spreading the seeds with me and Girlfriends Gather Here. Yeah. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good because, you know, I feel like we each as individuals have something that we can give to the world, and we can give it even more abundantly when we take care of ourselves. So, you know, the fact that you made the Girlfriends page, that has helped me to become more mindful of, you know, the things that I take in every day and how I deal with my personal struggles. And it makes me feel proud that I can be here and I can, you know, give a little of myself to somebody out there who needs it, you know, or maybe somebody in here who needs it.
The younger girlfriends, because we have a lot of the younger girlfriends, right, that some of them follow, some of them don't. At one point, I didn't think you were following, and here she is, you know. And Miss Janet, what seeds? I mean, what can you talk about? I saw an amazing seed on Mother's Day. I don't know. Listen, Mother's Day on the page was amazing. I was overjoyed. Yes. Everybody, todo el mundo estaba con su madre, con sus hijos, con las personas, ¿verdad? Y las que no compartieron algún recuerdo bonito de su madre o de sus hijas, lo que sea. Pero algo me impactó. Yo siempre he visto fotos de tú con una de tus hijas o las dos niñas, y nunca había visto el hijo de Janet.
Mm.
Cuéntanos de esta semilla, ¿qué pasó? ¿Qué hiciste en ese jardín que de momento hubo una foto with all four of you?
Bueno, aparte de sembrar siempre algo positivo, aunque estemos en una situación negativa. I felt that being in a negative situation, I always put it into a positive where I pushed them forward, and Mother's Day was a special day. Fue un día especial y pude estar con mi hijo, pude estar reunida con ellos tres, que fue la razón, ¿verdad?, de poder celebrar un día conmemorante para nosotras, las madres. And it was a good feeling to have them all, and then the way he has, you know, shifted, and he has now his own, we can say, garden, since we're on the subject. And he's doing good, you know, he's working his 2 jobs, he's going to college.
Wow.
So me as a parent, as a mom, he sembrado en él el que siempre tiene que seguir hacia adelante aunque las situaciones sean difíciles, y sacar siempre un positivo de un negativo.
Yes. Beautiful.
Y estoy feliz por eso.
Qué bueno.
Yes.
So I'm going to read a quote, okay? I'm going to read a quote, y pues me gustaría saber, ¿verdad? And ladies, whoever's out there that's listening and watching this show, at the end of the show, you're going to see the link. And join Girlfriends Gather here, and you're going to see a little bit more. Everything we're doing here, we're just bringing a little bit out of the box. But in there, it's a whole new world. And our garden is just so alive.
Yes.
Right? So we will reap what we sow. When you do good for other people, that's when God is going to make the blessings overtake you. Why does this one hit me? Because sometimes you just don't feel like doing something. That's in the mind. Okay? The mind will take into the body. I don't feel like doing something. If I be honest with you, there's days I just don't feel like even getting up. And that's part of the depression. So one of the things that I do is I go into the page and I'll see, well, I have the people that impact my life. Every time it's something new. But not because she's somewhere around here, but and I mentioned her before, Glendali Rodriguez. When you know her story, and you see this woman getting up every day and caminando con su mamá, like just encouraging you, that makes me like, oh my God, I can get up and do this. You know, the feeling, is it that we're lacking something? What is it that sometimes we just, what have you learned that, obviously the eating habits and everything, but sometimes can our thoughts really take over our body?
Yeah, if you don't have self-discipline, and self-discipline is something that is very difficult to get in the habit of doing, but it's something necessary, because if you don't have self-discipline, then you're not going to bring yourself to do those things that you don't want to do, but you know you have to do.
Right.
Okay.
You know?
So basically,
because nobody's going to come to your room and say, oh, you have to get up. You're an adult. Nobody's going to say you have to get up. You got to make your own choices. But if you know that you have to make choices in order for things to work out the way that you want them to, and, you know, for you to take care of your responsibilities, then you have to be disciplined, and that has to come from within.
So basically, if you open a business, you got to make sure your business is open every day, and you have the merchandise to sell, or whatever it is you have to do. So like in Girlfriends Gather here, I basically, and I cannot stop thanking each and every one of you and every one of the members, that anything that you share, you keep the page going, because it's like I always say, maybe my story won't help you, but it might help someone else. Your story can help another. Glendali's story can help somebody else. Veronica Mercado, you know, everybody every morning has something, and that's helping someone out there. So we have to be consistent. And what's different about Girlfriends Gather here is that there is a consistency. As we're here sitting down, the page is running.
Yes.
And we have people like I can't stop talking about her, Maritza Bermudez, who is just on it. Who is just on it, monitoring. We thank you for everything you do. Why do I bring this up? Because sometimes we don't feel like doing something, but when you have a responsibility, you need to continue it. Because if we decided we're going to help people. Okay, just like it says here, when you do good for other people, I feel we're doing very good for other people. Estamos haciendo un bien para alguien, maybe no para todo el mundo. Hay gente que no quiere hablar de la depresión. Well, good for you. Pero hay personas que lo necesitan escuchar. ¿Qué pasa? That's when God is going to make, obviamente, you can say to God, or we could say, as you speak it into the universe, anything you do good unto other, you reap what you sow, what's going to come back to you. This has been very rewarding. And as a human, as a plant, whatever we're going to call a seed, I can tell you this is what keeps me going even when I don't feel like it. Even if inside I'm not feeling like, oh my goodness, I really want to do this, it is knowing that it's going to reach and touch someone.
Yes.
You know? So another one, if you don't like what you are reaping, you had better change what you have been sowing. O sea, si no te gusta lo que estás cosechando, entonces cambia lo que siembra.
Right.
Si tú quieres manzana, ¿qué tienes que sembrar?
Pues una semilla de esa manzana.
Ok, y si tú quieres mango, que suena bien ahora, ¿qué tú tienes que sembrar?
Mango seeds.
There you go. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? A veces queremos manzana y sembramos china. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Yo quiero ver un resultado. Yo tengo una decisión, ya metí en mi mente y en mi corazón y la voy a hacer. La voy a hacer. ¿Sabes por qué? Porque ahora mi jardín necesita como que flores nuevas. Hubo un tiempo donde no había una cosecha. Tanto acomodado, muchos weeds. Yo no sé cómo se dice. I don't know how you call the weeds in English. But now I feel like there's a whole world out there. Y yo quiero seguir regando las semillas. What do you think about that, Janet?
Algo que puedo añadirle a lo que habla Elizabeth. A veces fermentamos nuestra tierra, ¿verdad? Igual en nuestra vida secular. Es como un jardín, vuelvo y repito, y a veces nos tiramos semillas que son podridas y nos reproducen. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? Tenemos que revolcar esa tierra de nuevo, hacer cambios en nuestras vidas positivos, mente, cuerpo y alma. Muy importante, vuelvo y repito. Si sigues en lo mismo, no vas a cosechar nada bueno. So tenemos que hacer cambios. We have to make positive changes for you to see something flourish, something positive in your life. If you are adding rotten seeds to your soil, you're never going to see something good growing out of it. But what happens is you have to make the changes. You have to plant the right seed.
Yes.
You have to reap what you sow.
Wow.
So
I think to add on to what you're saying,
Yes.
you also have to be mindful of people planting seeds in your garden.
That's right.
You know,
Yes.
because this
Wow.
can be intentional or unintentional, but they can
Negativity.
exactly they can be planting seeds of negativity, of envy and everything, down
What
that
did you
road.
call those weeds?
Yeah, there you go.
those
You
are the
can
bad
call those
weeds. You got to pull them out.
How do you say weeds in Spanish? I cannot hear it. But, the weeds, like you said, and you take them out, and what happens with the weeds? They come right back. How can we?
Well, because it's a process. You can't just, throw seeds in a garden and watch them grow and expect it to be like all beautiful. You have to continuously care for it, maintain it, keep checking up on them.
Pulling out the weeds.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sacando esas plantitas que como que, especialmente las enredaderas. Las enredaderas, las que crecen y son vines, like they just come and wrap themselves up around the plant and kind of kill them. You know what I mean? So, yes, it's about choices.
Son plantas que estorban. It's plants, that disturb a garden. Like you don't want the weeds where you have flowers because they're not going to flourish, and you want to see the beauty in that. So just like negative people surrounding you, negative thoughts in your mind,
Negative habits.
It can be whatever it is, stuck in your house, whatever someone's battling with. It could be depression, it could be addiction, it could be anxiety.
A toxic
person in your life.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
going to be, wow, and we can relate. I mean, it's so much that you can get out of this where if you don't if you don't make that decision to pull that out, but you have to pull it from deep and within, you know, and just like with women or whoever's battling with depression, you know, you find yourself in that dark spot, but there's hope where you can get out of it. You know, there's different ways where you would just have to take that step, just like in a garden where you first it starts with a seed, then you have to water, you need sun, you need to maintain the temperature. You know, it's like we relate to as a garden because our life in the spiritual and in our social life, it's the same way. You know, if you have negative friends, you're going to start having negative habits.
Yeah.
If you have negative thoughts, you're going to start thinking negative and doing negative things. But if we change our mindset and we change the people who surround us, then we flourish and we grow in our own way. So
I can say that one of the people that have planted a seed in my life, all of you have, toditas ustedes, Dios mío, como cada una hemos sembrado, we have each, ¿verdad? And I hope to see many more of you just coming in and spreading your seeds with us, you know what I mean? But somebody who has, wow, como las flores que han florecido, tú eres una. Tú eres una. I remember, wow. How do we say this without, I got makeup on today, so no tears. Pero it touches deep inside, llega adentro, llega adentro.
How do you see me now from how you saw me before? How can you tell people out there? Because I know there's people, women out there that were in a dark spot, you know. And
¿Cómo hacerlo sin?
¿Cómo hacer?
Yo creo que hay que estar en esa oscuridad. You need to be in that darkness to understand. Not that little bit. There's sometimes you go through the underworld. Uno está un ratito, lo que sea, pero hay que estar en esa oscuridad donde ya no hay esperanza. Everybody remember Robin Williams? ¿Se acuerdan de él?
Sí.
Yep.
¿Quién iba a pensar que ese hombre se iba a quitar la vida?
That's right.
Tenía dinero, fama, un hombre que alegraba gente. Mrs. Doubtfire, one of my favorite movies. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to be mentioning this, but what an example. Sometimes the people that you least expect are dying inside.
That's right.
Yo no era así. Tú no eras así. And it all happened over some deviled eggs.
Yes. Can't get over that.
Y yo vine because that's something I like to, but I don't like making. I like it when other people, not everybody knows how to do them. Y estamos en la fiestecita de Navidad, vine, me metí uno entero a la like, completito, ni lo mordí a mitad. Okay, I had no mercy on that deviled egg. Y ahí con la boca llena, who did this? ¿Cómo fue? Porque
It was me. I did it.
Yeah,
You know, like, we have to talk, you know, and that's how it all started, our friendship. And
yeah. Y cuando tú y yo empezamos a compartir, yo decía, wow.
yes.
Why?
Why?
do you say that? Yeah.
Explica el por qué.
Okay, puedo, tengo tu permiso. I
Sí.
have her permission. El por qué. Estabas en un tiempo in your life where I think, and remember we talked about it, the ruminating in the mind. I don't know if you could even elaborate on that. What's ruminating? Ruminating in the mind basically is you have so many thoughts, racing thoughts, and this and that. And you start questioning yourself. Am I doing the right thing? Did this person, oh my God, yo dije lo correcto. Ay, Dios mío, pero esto así lo, ay, aquello está pensando. Because sometimes we even think, we know what you're thinking.
La aprobación.
You're seeking people's approval. And you were there.
Yes.
You were there. And little by little, because the page opened, whatever, we went out that first night. After that, but you saw the vision, you understood. And then you started sharing.
Absolutely.
And who impacted you? What? I mean, there had to be something.
I had to make a change. Tuve que hacer un cambio donde no tenía amistades, no tenía amigas. Siempre me pasaba solamente con mis hijos, trabajando, ser madre. Era una rutina. It was a routine. It was constant. And I said, this is not normal.
No.
I need something different. Something needs to shift in my life. And I needed friends. I needed to socialize. I needed to get out and have a balance in my life. You have to have a balance, because when you have a balance and you balance something on one side more than the other, then you're up here and the other things are like, that's where my soul was. Mi alma estaba como que algo pasa aquí. Entonces me tuve que balancear. I had to balance myself out where now I feel free, I feel good. I've changed, some habits, and I've changed, and I've made some decisions, positive decisions. So now I'm like right here now.
Mira la hora, estoy like, wow, in living color right here,
Absolutely.
My own daughter, I remember she was, and I guess it's normal. My life was different at her age. Like, I wasn't thinking about, I was a mom at 17, So I wasn't thinking the way you were thinking. My thing was, I messed up, because trust me, your parents sometimes just kind of like love to remind you where you went wrong. But I kind of like that, because if it wasn't for that, I would have never gotten back and taken advantage of the welfare system at that time, but to educate myself, get a GED and everything. But you, for the younger girlfriends, what could bring you into that funk, like you guys call it? Because I've seen you change a lot. I've seen you change a lot. You told me once, Mom, sometimes we just don't know what the heck we want at this age. So.
Well, yeah, because, I'm not in high school anymore. I'm in college. But when I was in high school, it was, from the moment you step into high school, it's like, well, what are you going to do? What are you going to do after high school? You have to apply to a 4-year college. You have to choose what you're going to do for the rest of your life right now. And it's like, you guys are teaching us about, I don't know, quadratic equations and stuff like that, but you're not teaching us how loans work, how to go to trade school instead of get yourself in debt for a 4-year college that you're not even going to get into the major that you want until you're 2 years into it. And you know what I mean? It's like a lot of pressure, and nobody really tells you that, until you're going through it by yourself and you're like, what the heck am I doing? Why am I even in this class if I don't like this subject? Right. Why am I getting into so much debt if I don't really want to do this? And it's all because some guidance counselor, some teachers, some older siblings, some parents, somebody told you that what you have to do is graduate high school and go straight into college. Right. So that's very, you talk about the suicide rates.
It's scary.
You don't know how many kids drop out of college, or how many times there have been students found in their college dorm rooms with pills, hung themselves and things like that. I don't know if that's too gruesome, but it's reality.
It's reality.
It's what people don't want to talk about, but yet if you Google it, that's what you're going to find.
It's more common than we think. It happens in our community. It happens next door. It's something that people don't like to talk about. And I think it's very important that if you feel a certain way, seek help. Life is not easy. Making good decisions is not easy. I can honestly say it's gonna be tough, it's gonna be hard, but it's doable. Se puede lograr. Hay jóvenes donde puedo hablar por experiencia con mi hijo, y él lo hizo. Pasamos un momento difícil en nuestras vidas. Pero yo siempre lo empujé a esa decisión. I always pushed him so that he can do better. And now, it's tough for him because he says, Mom, it's so hard. I have 2 jobs. I'm shifting back and forth, and I have school. But I said, don't stop. Keep going. Yeah. He took a little break, and he starts again in August, but he's going to go back. And, that's awesome. He needs a little bit more to go, and he'll have his associates. So
good. And I think that school is definitely important, but I think it's also important to show kids that are in high school or transitioning, or even teenagers that already graduated, that there's options. You don't just have to go straight to a 4-year college. You can take some time and really figure out what you want. If you're good at something, then figure out how you can get paid for doing what you're good at.
And liking it.
Yeah, but they didn't really teach us that in high school. They're like, you have to pick. Are you going to be a doctor? Are you going to be a lawyer? Are you going to be a engineer? What are you going to do? And bringing it back to, what you were thinking differently when you were my age. I think, kids who have parents who were thinking different things when they were their age, that made different decisions. I think it's really hard to relate because I can come to you and say, I'm so stressed out with tears in my eyes because I'm having trouble with a class, and I can express it to you as much as I can, but you're not really going to understand it because you don't know the pressure that, you know, I'm feeling, just as, you know, other college students are probably feeling as well. So that's serious. I mean, they make it society. I'm going to say society. Society makes it seem like you have to have everything figured out by the time you're 18 years old, 19 years old, 20 years old. That's not even a quarter of your life, you know, if we're saying we're going to live to 100. That's not even a quarter of your life.
Right.
And you expect me to take this all in and figure it out right now? No, absolutely not.
Right.
And some people don't know how to deal with that, and that's scary. That's really, really scary because...
I'm sorry, would you be able... So, would you say that sometimes us parents take those seeds and want to plant it in your garden? This is the type of plant you're going to grow. This is the type, although you don't want that plant, sometimes we just come and make you grow that plant, don't we?
Sometimes. I mean, actually, sometimes. And
because I want to see that plant in you.
Exactly. And that has, I feel like that goes back to the decision making, the things that you were thinking about when you were my age. You know, maybe you wish that you could have done things differently. I feel like when you look at, I mean, I don't have children, but I know, you know, maybe looking back at your children, like, wow, I see myself in you and I want you to do this. Don't do what I did. But I think that parents have to also be mindful that we have our own garden, you know, even if we're still in the same household or if we're still, you know, sharing a garden, we still have our own portion. And it's really important for us to be able to plant our own seeds and take out the weeds that we want. And they don't even have to be weeds. They can be perfectly beautiful flowers. But if we don't want them there, if they don't go with our color scheme, we have the right to rip it out.
Remove them, yes, absolutely.
So... yeah, I
Your
mean,
own
I think
mindset.
that, exactly. And I think that transition is very difficult for the parents and very difficult for the child and anybody else that's looking at that garden, you know? Wow. But I think that it's very necessary because families grow individually and they grow together as well. And I think that, you know, it's definitely a process when gardens are, I don't want to say gardens are separating, but gardens are just growing, you know. Growth brings change, and I feel like it's very important to embrace change together.
So if you were going to tell me as your mom and tell other girlfriends, younger girlfriends, what are you growing in your garden? There's the roses, there's perennials. We have perennials. The perennials are the plants that go dormant during the winter, but every year they're just going to come out again. And then we have the annuals. Okay, we have the annuals, the ones that you plant, and you probably start them inside. Like this year, I haven't planted any. The weather here is just horrendous this year. The spring has not been, I don't know. No sembré ajicitos, okay, porque el tiempo está horrible. Pero, what are you planting? Are you into the annuals at the moment? Do you have more annuals than perennials? What?
So, okay.
I mean, it's not that I'm trying to be all up in your garden, you know, but I'm not trying to find out what plants you got, you know, but just don't tell me there's some that you can make money out of, you know, I'm just kidding.
Goodness. Okay, so I did mention this in the first episode. I'm not a big gardener. I've gardened before, but I'm not. And so I'm going to answer your question, but I'm not going to name a whole bunch of flowers because I don't know that many flowers, you know. I do know sunflowers. There's sunflowers in my garden.
Okay, what flower do you like?
I like roses, daisies, and sunflowers.
Wow.
Yeah, but I will tell you that what I am planting in my garden, what I've already planted, you know, I've planted the seed of success, of self-discipline, of beauty, of self-confidence, of there's so many more. But I'm constantly planting seeds. And the way that I personally plant seeds is by I listen to like motivational speeches, the books that I read, I pray, I paint. You guys know that I paint. I that's how I plant my seeds. You know, I'm not really looking at it like as in flowers, but
But you're not seeking for everybody's, hey, mom, or hey, you, do my plants look good? You know, you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that all of us go through a stage where we want people like, hey, come look at my garden, you know, like look at how pretty it is, like my plants are growing. And I think it's easy for some people to even get obsessed with that. Like, nobody's looking at my garden, like, you know what I mean?
Nobody's hitting like.
Yeah, nobody's hitting like. But I think that there comes a point in time when you just have to be your own motivator yourself, because you have to understand that people are going through their own thing. You know, you can't put your happiness in the hands of somebody else. You have, there comes a time where you have to say, okay, enough is enough. Like, you're gonna see what I'm doing regardless. I don't need you to tell me, hey, like, go water your plants. No, my plants are watered.
That was a key word that Coraima used. Enough is enough. It is.
Hey, you know what can I say? One special gardener here. Would you guys say that control is a weed? Would you consider control a weed? I'm just going to quickly say my part of the control. Why is it a weed? El control. Queremos controlarlo todo. Y a veces no es que, voy por el español aquí, el control. Lo queremos controlar todo, pero es que la vida nos ha hecho como que tener que tomarle control las situaciones que yo, por ejemplo, fui madre soltera muchos años, todavía lo soy. Entonces, ¿qué pasa? Si yo no tomo el control de las situaciones, ¿cómo voy entonces a manejar las cosas? Pero a veces es que no nos damos el tiempo. Y yo creo que en mi jardín yo he tenido que bregar mucho, ir sacando el control. Y me siguen saliendo de vez en cuando. Estoy viendo ahí un hijito por ahí que todavía está una raíz, que todavía está por ahí. ¿Qué tú dirías del control, Janet?
El control puede ser muchas cosas. Puede ser una relación que te controla. Puede ser amistades que controlan cómo debes de actuar, cómo debes de hablar. Eso es un tipo de control. It's a type of control where you can be in a controlling relationship, which is not healthy. You can be in your friendships, trying to control the way that you act, the way that you think, the way that you're supposed to talk to them. I don't know. I think control can be anything, but you also have to, there's also control where you take control of your life, again, where you take control of the positive thinking, the positive steps that you're going to take in your life to make that change. I can honestly say that I had to control myself into making that positive step to make changes in my life. Yes. So there's good control and there's bad control. You just have to pick which one you want to live by.
I just want to mention a quick garden. And there's 4 gardens in the Bible. I don't know the whole 4. But somehow, since we started talking about this subject, I'm thinking of Gethsemane. I'm saying it in Spanish because Gethsemane, I guess. Yosemite Sam, you know, uno de esos. Pues, Gethsemane, ¿qué pasa? Que en Gethsemane, and I can't go into a lot of detail because it's a big subject. Pero, let me go to English. In Gethsemane, Jesus went in there the day before he was going to be crucified. And I was reading and pondering in this and just thinking that in there, if you see the Passion of the Christ, oh my God, you got to see that movie. When he's in Gethsemane and you really look into and you see you just look it up and look at the images of what, and I'm going to use this as an example because I feel in this past, I'm saying the 2 weeks, and it's interesting, we've had to do gardening again. And when it's for the soul, my soul has been burdened, it's been hurting because there's something that I want and I feel I'm in Gethsemane and I have to make a decision. Did you know that Jesus couldn't make the decision and said, you know what? He knew what he was going to go through. So that's the time he told his 3 disciples that were with him, stay right here because I'm going to go into the mountain to pray. And he took his time alone with God. So basically what I'm trying to say is that when you're in Gethsemane there, take that time to feed your soul.
Yes.
Through meditation, through worshiping, through prayer, through somehow that time alone, and talk to the higher power, which we focus on Jesus Christ. But whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, and take out that time to be alone, because
Yes.
people just can't be alone. And when he spoke to God, he was, it says in there that he was, that's the first time that really describes Jesus as a human. And sometimes we need to remember that we are human. Things aren't always going to go our way.
That's right.
Change is inevitable.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to keep the garden growing.
Mm-hmm.
In Gethsemane, if you're ever in the garden of suffering, just talk to God. Trust in God.
Yes.
Know that things are going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, he still went through what he had to go through. He suffered so much for you, for me, for all of you.
Yes.
And at the end, he ended up in his throne. So how can we use that as an example? The Garden of Gethsemane, the Garden of Suffering. There's other garden. I know there's one of the Garden of Victory, which I know at the end I'll be crossing over from Gethsemane to the Garden of Victory. I like to use this story because it is gardening for the soul.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to talk to God. We need to trust God
Yes.
to allow that every change that comes, every situation, everything, we do not have a control over it, but to leave it at the foot of the cross
Mm-hmm.
and have faith,
Yes.
you know? Tener esa fe.
And know that he always has control over our life.
Always. At the end, because if I've been in Gethsemane before, sheesh, I think I have a house in Gethsemane, you know? And whenever I've been in Gethsemane, I was there in my 20s, I was there in my 30s, I'm in my 40s now. I made it to my 40s. So does it really mean that it's going to be over just because you're going through something? Does it really mean that life is over because you pulled that plant and roots and all? You don't know if in 2 weeks something's just going to come popping right back out again.
Right.
But I hope we have, and we can keep talking about, gardening for the soul. But before we go, I wanted to just share one more quote.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And it says, "As you sow in your subconscious mind, so shall you reap in your body and environment."
Mm-hmm.
So what you think, what you have in your mind, is what your body is going to produce and the environment's going to feel. I don't want to push people away. So I have to love myself enough and love this new me and love this amazing new woman that I chose to invest in, that I chose to water, that I chose to just, take care of, to become the person that I am today in my garden, which it doesn't matter anymore who looks in my garden and who doesn't.
Yes.
I don't want people to look in my garden. My garden is mine. And here I am. Many years ago, I always said I was going to be on TV, and here I am. So, what's the goals, or I don't know? Do you
Well,
have
no, I
something?
was just the quote that you said, "As you sow in your subconscious mind, so shall you reap in your body and environment." I just the word subconscious stood out to me because when you think of something subconsciously, you're not even conscious that you're thinking about it.
Right.
And sometimes your subconscious mind is the one that drives your decisions, and that's something that I read a lot about, and I know that we have to be really careful with that because, we're every day we wake up, we're on the go, we got to make it to work on time, we have to remember to eat breakfast. That's a big one for me. I end up leaving the house with out eating breakfast, and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot to eat, because we're just so focused on doing things every day. Focusing a little bit more on our subconscious mind and what we're feeding ourselves, that really, I think, can help our garden grow, because think about I don't know, the music that you're listening to or something. If you're listening to the radio, I don't know, should you be listening to, maybe something a little bit more motivational?
Right.
It all depends on how, it affects you individually.
Absolutely.
But it's just you know, subconscious. Subconscious is something that you have to really pay attention to, because that's really what drives your decisions a lot of the time.
Positive thoughts.
How about
I
you?
wrap it up real quick with the right seeds for the mind, new goals, being proud of yourself, brainstorm new ideas, positive thoughts, mentoring others, helping others get out of whatever situation they are. So I encourage you just to encourage others and lift yourself up with, you know, new positive thoughts.
And taking risks.
That's right.
That's one seed that I don't know, just brand new in my head maybe a couple months ago. Just taking risks.
Yes.
Get on that airplane if you're afraid to. Something gets you scared, face it. I won't face spiders though. No spiders. No. I'll do anything but spiders. But in all reality, ladies, girlfriends, mujeres, quisiera poder hacerle todo en español, everything in Spanish as well. Espero que lo poquito que hayamos compartido lo hayan entendido, que alguien les haya ayudado.
Yes.
You know, lo que tú tengas en tu jardín es tuyo. No permitas que nadie venga a quitarte, decirte lo que tú debes o no debes plantear.
Yes.
A ti te toca limpiar tu jardín y darle el mantenimiento. Eres tu jardín. Y si alguna vez has dejado de cuidar tu jardín, es tu tiempo que comiences de nuevo. Únete a nosotras. Estamos en la página, se llama Girlfriends Gather Here, que quiere decir amigas, nos reunimos aquí. Tenemos un calendario de eventos. Todos los fines de semana hay algo.
Yes.
Y si no hay algo y tú quieres que vengamos y estemos con ustedes, únanse a nosotros, la añadiremos a la página y crea un evento. Invítanos. Muchas llegarán, otras, créeme que casi 400 nos llegarán, nos gustaría, ¿verdad? Un día, cuando celebremos nuestro primer aniversario, no sé dónde se va a celebrar, pero algún día lo celebraremos y estaremos las 400.
Yes.
Muchas gracias. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank
you. I hope that we have planted a seed for you to just be positive, to be mindful, and to
Yes.
say that, friendship is important. And
It
I thank God for all of you.
Thank you.
For all of you. And, join our page. Find us, Girlfriends Gather Here. We do need friends.
We do.
Just like flowers need water, we need friends. So want to thank you very much for your time and attention, and hope to see you in our page. Thank you very much for joining us today. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros.